Yeah, man. It's the one and only DJ Chase. We here. We locked in the pregame party miss podcast today. I told y'all, man, foot on the next, man. I'm working 2026. Bigger and better. June is coming up. My birthday, July 1st. But enough of all that, man. We got a dope episode today. Before I get to that, I'm going to get to our sponsors. Once again, download that. You know I'm going to say it, man. Download that DJ Chase radio mobile app, man. iPhone and Android. The website will be back up. It's just going through maintenance right now. The official website, rapmarkets.com, coming soon. Podcast directory, user promo code DJ Chase to get 20% off your order. Get in touch with the hottest podcasts and radio shows just like myself. Groove, the hottest platform to get in touch with players, curators, get real feedback from real artists on your music from real playlist curators like myself. Meet Mafia Steaks in Lake Wiley, the hottest steaks and the dopest steaks place to sell meats, lobsters, everything like that. Certified Angus beef. And the last one, GCPR, Global PR Media Marketing House. But today we have, I would say, how would I introduce? I would say licensed clinical therapist, Miss Sarah Dunn.
Nice to see you. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for coming on the platform. I'm super excited about this one. As my listeners and my viewers always, I'm about the business. I'm about health and wellness and being an adult. You know what I'm saying? A productive member of society. So, Miss Sarah, I want to first I want to get into your background a little bit. You are a musician. You started doing music. After working in the jail system. You have a very unique story. So, where are you originally from?
Well, I was raised in Georgia. I was born in Illinois, raised in Georgia, so I'm a Southern belle. I lived in California, in Los Angeles area for about 10 years before moving to Connecticut, where I have been now for 10 years. But I can't shake my accent. It's always a little bit there.
I love it. No, it's okay. Listen, I'm a New Yorker. I'm down here in Charlotte, and everybody always, so everybody makes fun of my New York accent, so I get it too. So with that,
I'm always like, why are people yelling at me? I'm like,
You got to get used to it, though. Honestly, I had to explain that to my friend because I was like, listen, the more we yell at you, the more we love you in New York. So don't take it personal.
That's extremely helpful, actually.
Yes. The more we yell at you, the more we love you. So, Miss Sarah, so how would you define your title in a mental health field today?
Right. So I'm a psychologist. I have a doctorate in clinical psychology. And so my focus has always been in forensic psychology, individuals who have that kind of interaction with the legal system and mental health. So people who are in prison, people who are on parole or federal probation, and I've had opportunities working with men in maximum security prisons at Chino and out in Corcoran, California, where Charles Manson was. But I did not get to meet with him.
Yeah.
Your facial expression, you're like, And then I worked with individuals on parole in Compton, California. I saw Dr. Dre at the corner store while I was working there. It was very exciting.
Yeah.
And then since moving to Connecticut about 10 years ago, I've started working in nursing homes. But nursing homes are people ages 18 to 108. And so I'm working with people who are unhoused, people with poverty, people who have a lot of medical issues, mental health issues, addiction issues. And so people who are unhoused, if you have a medical crisis, you can't go back to under the bridge to get better. So you go to a nursing home. And so I work with all sorts of folks and finding music as a way to have a common communication opportunity to connect with people and build from there, and talking about feelings and thoughts and how you see the world has been a really fantastic opportunity. And I've had a lot of privilege to have a lot of leeway in my job to be like, they're like, Sarah, do what it takes. I'm like, okay, I will do what it takes. I will find weird ways to connect with people.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. One of my biggest personal fights is music. You know what I'm saying? Especially like I've DJ'd and played for all types of anything you could think of. I've played for it. And music is a universal language. And you started playing piano and violin at the age of 3. Yeah. So with that being said, like, was that sense of purpose? Was that sense of purpose kind of like what made you like get into that field and want to help people, I guess?
Well, I mean, purpose, when we talk about music, like so much of music is about privilege. And so my mom did not grow up with money. And so having music lessons, having piano lessons, like my grandmother had a dirt floor. And so being able to give your kids music lessons is a huge privilege symbol. So my parents putting me on piano, whether I liked it or not, was not a choice. It was like, this is how we show that we're coming up in the world.
Yeah.
And so I studied music. My dad worked for Hammond Organ. So for a while, he's a musician and an engineer, which is, an opportunity. And so as I went into mental health, I realized you can love something, but not necessarily want it to be your full-time job. Like being a full-time piano player, being a full-time violinist. I'm not a night person. I like to be in bed by 9:30, which is also weird as a musician. So
I agree.
I had to find a way to work around. But the way to connect something that I am extremely passionate about and being able to implement that into my work as a way of communication, because as you said, like music is everybody's language, and finding that way to connect with people and also having people connect with each other through music has been a fantastic opportunity. Like working in the prisons, especially in like Corcoran, having to teach people, like, you might not like the song other people are wanting to play and talk about, but you need to learn to cope. You need to sit through 3.5 minutes. You will not die. I promise you. You will not die if you don't like the song. And that's, it's such a thing because like people take their music so personally as their identity.
You know what's funny? Hold on, Sarah. You know what? Hold on, stop there. Because that's actually my next question.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. So, no, it's okay. So, basically, because I want to ask this, right? Like I said, I've dealt with a lot of, unfortunately, for some strange reason, I got pigeonholed into this hip-hop situation. I've mixed and mastered all types of piano records, hip-hop, techno, everything you think of. Where's this, I think social media has heightened the imposter syndrome and the entitlement. Where do you think that mental capacity of the entitlement comes from? Where do you think that comes from as far as these new artists today?
Hard work is not sexy. That, like you can't see this, but right now, like I'm sitting with my laptop on top of 3 different like crayon boxes from my children with like with the microphone attached to like a folding chair to make this look right for you. The things that we see, we don't see the behind the scenes, and everything is so immediate. The immediate gratification of seeing it looking perfect right away, you feel like that's how it should be versus like, the 30 minutes I spent before meeting with you where I'm like telling my kids to turn off the TV and making sure the dinner is made and like putting a sign on the door for my youngest kid when they come home from play practice not to make any noise because I'm going to be talking to you. Like those are things that are invisible, the invisible work. And I think that can come into entitlement, that it looks like people feel they should just step into this and not see the messiness that's behind the scenes.
Because I've actually been recently reading Cal Newport, the Digital Minimalism. This is a really good book. I know a great book. So it talks about that, and especially like even like with me, like I've dealt with my own mental health issues just from like trauma and just stuff, and a lot of times stuff is like beyond my control. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you can control what you can control, and coming from the environments. I didn't have a hard life, but it's just like, especially as a black man, you're always kind of targeted, and that we kind of deal with that. And I want to ask you this, right? As far as like a musician, as far as like prison systems, do you feel like the mental health is not taken seriously enough? It's like either like with medication, things like that.
Absolutely. There's always opportunity to talk about mental health, and when you talk about those like things about like mental health and culture and race and gender, like the patriarchy sucks, but I would never in a million years want to be a man every day. Because like as a female person, right, I like if I'm having a bad day, people put blankets around my shoulders, they bring me ice cream, men are told to tough it up, rub some dirt in it, like boys don't cry. When I talk about men and their experiences of sexual abuse, like that is a huge thing. I have to coach people so hard, like as we talk about this, saying things like, oh, you're so lucky is a gross thing to say, and having to teach people, and still like you could have that whole pre-talk before talking about it in a group therapy, and then we still have to be like, oh, you just did the thing. Well, they are. Well, are they? Like that is like the feelings of men and that experience and the experiences of trauma, like whether you are high functioning or low, like you matter. And so when you say like I've had a good life, like yes, however, I want to remind you that you matter. The things that have happened to you and the things you've been through matter.
Thank you.
I don't care. It's not a competition. We're not going to take the gold medal for who had the worst life. Like we're not out of here with a participation trophy.
It don't work. It don't work like that. That is not how that works. That is not how it works.
If the gold medal, they can have it. Like
I agree, Miss Sarah, for sure. For sure.
And we don't need it for your life to be valid and your experiences to be real and important. That's super important to when it comes to music and like talking about your truth, which I know that you do so beautifully in your music.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And I want to ask this as well too. Do you feel like lyrics matter more in mental health, or the audio, the composition matters more?
When we talk about like music, the really great thing is that like music affects so many different parts of your brain. So however you were raised, whatever you experienced, whatever affected how your brain grew, from like poverty, from trauma, from childhood abuse, from all the things that people grow up in, whether it is, you know, capital T trauma or a lot of lowercase t trauma, that music affects different parts of your brain. And so whether it is the way the song sounds that speaks to how you're feeling, or the lyrics that tell a story that you can relate to, you can't take one from the other because they're equally valid for just how people can connect to things. And when we talk about neurodivergence and how just like the feeling of a song, like the lyrics can be whatever, but like it can feel like a certain way for a lot of folks.
Yeah, love it. Because, you know, I'm an audio guy. As you can tell, I'm a super audio guy.
No idea.
I don't listen to lyrics. People, my friends, I be recording songs. People ask me, you didn't listen to the lyrics? I'm like, absolutely not. Like, you know, because I'm not. But I mean, as I get older, I guess, you know, lyrics matter. I'm not that. I detach from music. Music is like, you know, I'm just good at it. You know what I'm saying? But I do. And I do want to ask this too, Miss Sarah. So I notice a lot of things too, like a lot of artists and musicians, and I guess they feel like, you know what's the word I'm looking for? I think sometimes they don't understand the spiritual realm of music as well too. And I want to ask, like, you know, because you sing folk music and you see how music affects the inmates and things like that. And we've run it, especially in hip hop realm, we've run into this. They're confessing things that they should not be confessing in music. How do you feel about like the spiritual element mixing with the mental health element in music?
Well, I do think it's legally very important to say that what people say they have done or did in music, like when you talk about the old like East Coast, West Coast rappers, like those are not confessions. Yeah. That's artistic license. Full stop.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I don't want to put anybody in a hot box. I don't want to be on anybody's stand as a witness.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I was like, holy crap. You just made me have to like use my like psychology license in the conversation. Like,
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good at what I listen. I've been going to therapy so long, so I'm good at this. My therapist be like, "You all right?" Yep, I'm good.
Oh my gosh, I am so glad. My therapist is about to retire, and my friends are like, "Did you do that to her?" And I'm like, "Listen."
Yo, I think my therapist, she be like, when she see my name come across, she be like, "Yo, not him again." So she hates me.
She starts like hydrating before.
Yeah. And she's so nice too. She's so nice. She's so nice. She's so nice. Shout out to Dr. Miss Catherine. She's so nice.
I would put money that your therapist genuinely likes you, because like
she do.
I haven't met a client that I genuinely don't like.
Yeah.
Oh, there was one. But anyway, that's a whole other story.
Yeah, I love it.
This person like made it his business to like just be a pain in the ass. But when I think about like music and the spiritual aspects to it, like we have, you know, whether you call it God, whether you call it spirituality, whether you call it connectedness, I think that kind of foundation of like the vibe, and I don't mean to be like spiritual or like
nah, this is what we talk about. This is but people need to hear what you have to say, Miss Sarah. Like you know,
right down to your heartbeat, that your heart beats in a rhythm, and that rhythm affects how you think and feel. Like how fast is your heart beating affects your anxiety, affects your depression, affects your sleep, and like how all those things play together. So like in the very essence of your health is a rhythm. And so when people connect to beats, to rhythms, regardless of the lyrics, regardless of the thing that's being said in the song, like that's a connectivity to like the very foundation of what keeps you alive. And I think that's a lovely perspective, that like we can find ways to connect not only with ourselves, like at a very foundational level, which we need to start doing, because everything's moving so fast around us, like we talked about with like with the social media, and finding ways to kind of connect with your body and like be present in like your somatic experience is more important than ever. And finding your heart and finding how that connects with other people. Like we are so messaged with the things that we have that divide us, that we cannot find the things that connect us and use those things that connect us to be compassionate, kind, and make good policy. And that can be a really difficult thing, because I think we can almost all generally agree on like kindness as a policy and live and let live as a policy, but it's how we do it and like what we're doing inside our hearts that like helps us be open to change. And I think that can be a really cool opportunity through music to help you think about things in a different way.
Yeah, love it. And I like I said, a lot of times too, I want to ask you this, a music question for you. Do you like playing the piano better, or do you like playing the violin better? Or the guitar?
The guitar. The guitar is the easiest for me.
Okay.
And violin is so hard. Because violin, you have to be so precise, and there are people who are so much better at it than I am. And I've been playing the violin for over 30 years, which is a little embarrassing to my age. But, like, it just depends what you're doing. Like, if you're practicing, like, where your voice and your pitch has to be, the piano's where it's at, or just, like, what does that chord progression need to be? Sometimes you need, like, the concrete, like, discrete keys of the piano can really help you kind of visualize what you're doing. And for some people, you know, they hear music in numbers, they hear music in shapes. Like I asked, I'm in this Irish band, and I was like, oh, do you hear this and this and that? And they're like, I was like, do you hear it in numbers, or do you do like, you know, do, re, mi? Yeah. And they're like, I hear music in shapes. And I'm like, cool, drummer. Like
yeah, I love it because it's about you. Because like I said, you have a great music, and like I said, you play pretty darn freaking well. You know what I'm saying? So I want to get the behind the scenes of what goes on. You know,
but you know, it's also part of that immediate gratification that like I practice every day.
Same with me.
The metronome. Yeah, exactly. Like, and it's like people are like, oh, like you must be so talented. I'm like, no, I work really hard.
Right.
And they're like, oh, but you must have like a natural thing. I'm like, no, I just sit my butt down with like a timer sometimes if I have to and make myself practice every day. Right. And that's really where I think is the difference between kind of like, you know, comfort music or amateur music versus like people who are like trying to bring a product. Is that like, did you practice with a metronome? What's your time feel? Like those things are so important in how you connect with like making things easier for your audience to hear. Yeah. And if you're trying to connect with your audience, you want to make things as smooth as possible. And finding those like really corny, childish ways of like practicing to a metronome.
It's not corny though. It's not cool. But you know what? Listen, these artists today feel like they could just show up. They feel like they could just get a good show up. Somebody gonna pay them $11 million to perform a terrible song and do a terrible performance. That's what they feel in their minds.
And you know what the really sad thing is that some will, because they will be in a way like the old Motown records where like some people will absolutely be used for that one hit wonder. They'll be made money on. And they don't even realize they're being used. And I just feel like, you know, like your integrity matters. And you know what? Get that bag. Get that one song. Make your money. Make your name. I don't care. Go retire and have a great life for you and your kids. Yeah. But I think, you know, you have to be honest and aware of stepping into that. And I think that's like kind of a really lovely place that, like, you know, I live in the suburbs of Connecticut. I have 2 kids. I'm a single mom. I drive I drive a nasty minivan. Like,
listen, actually, you know what's funny? I love the Chrysler minivan. I've been thinking about getting it. It's between that or a Tesla. So I want the Chrysler minivan. My wife thinks I'm crazy and out of my mind, but I definitely want a Chrysler minivan. I've been thinking about it.
Well, you are, but also that minivan is really great because like all the seats go in a certain way. They can be taken out of the car. You can put like 3 drum kits in that thing and your soccer stuff for your kids. Yes. Like,
and I don't got no kids. She's like, why do you want a minivan? You don't have any kids. I'm like, because I just want it. I love the minivan. I like the Chrysler Pacifica. I love it.
Can I be a little saucy?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Take your wife.
Yeah, I'm right. Yeah.
Camping.
Yeah.
Take her camping. I'm sorry, I'm blushing like as I'm talking about this. Take your wife camping, put all those seats down. Yeah. And I'm just saying.
All right. I think about. Actually, I'm working on a trip. We'll talk off air about that. I got a cool trip. I'll get your advice. Nah, but Miss Sarah, I do want to ask you this. Do you like recording music better, or do you like the live performance better?
Performing is so great because performing is really forgiving. Like you can sing a wrong note. You can like make a mistake, and it's about your connection with the people there. And you have such lovely experiences of just kind of feeling the room and being like, okay, what does the room need? And what can I provide? And how can I make this like an experience? When you're recording, it is so aggressively attuned to, are you singing on pitch? Are you singing it the same way every single time? Like the precision is insane. And God bless the guy I recorded with, Steve Rogers. Like he is a saint who's going to go straight to heaven. God's going to be like, nice. you sat with Sarah Dunn, psh, right into heaven. Like, he doesn't care that like he's been a good person his whole life, does not care.
Yeah.
Because like, if you don't cry in the recording studio, what are you even doing?
Yeah. Nah, I love it. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. But you true, Ms. Dunn, because like I said, like I said, a lot of even some people I tell, like, because I do some consulting and stuff like that with artists, and I tell them all the time, I'm like, sometimes you might not be ready for it. It's just like you gotta practice. Like I said, practice. I've been doing this almost like half my life. I'm 38. I've been doing this since I was like 12 years old. So I'm like, you can't compare yourself. And that's a question I do want to ask. So like in a prison system and things like that, as far as like mental health and things, I feel like, where do you think that the development, that complex comes from, where people compare themselves so much? Not even just like the instant gratification, but on this question is more or less comparing and competing with people that you don't know. Where does that complex come from?
If I knew, my student loans would be forgiven.
I got you.
But I think just, we are taught to kind of look to others for how to act, how to do. And sometimes good habits can step beyond what is healthy and helpful to you. Like an obsessive compulsive dynamic where, like, washing your hands is good. Washing your hands 20 times every hour is not good. Or cleaning your home is good. Cleaning your home that you can't have friends over because they'll bring in dirt is not good. And like, so, it's not helpful. And so when we think about these things, that when people are looking for ways to have control, and control is a good thing, it's good to want and have control in your life. It's good to know what's about to happen tomorrow, the next week, the next month. Like that's a very healthy thing to want. It's like just like the control of knowing what's about to happen in your life. And when people have poverty or trauma or just chaos in their upbringings, like looking to other people and looking for ways to find control in your life is a very healthy thing to do. Yeah. And so how do we take that healthy motivation and focus it in a way that that you can grow as a person and find that in the context of what you're able to control versus comparing and trying to do what other people are doing or not doing because of what they have. It can be, complicated that way, and there's an opportunity for compassion for sure.
Love it. Thank you for that answer. And I do want to answer this too, Miss. I know you got to run into this. We're gonna do this. Definitely do this again. We're gonna probably do this once a month. but I'm gonna borrow you.
With a good time.
I'm gonna borrow you. And what are some What are some good coping skills for musicians? Like, what are some good coping skills that you recommend for musicians?
With musicians, and this comes from living in Los Angeles for 10 years. That I think so oftentimes people go into performing in general as a way to fill a hole in their heart. And so if you are a person looking to perform, going to your own therapy and talking about your stuff with a person who you have trusted to pass you back your BS and hand your butt to you on a platter and be like, this is the stuff you need to work on. Why are you doing this? Don't do that. What's wrong? You need someone who's going to give you some real honest back and forth feedback, because if you're looking to fill your heart through other people, you are going to be crushed. And that is it's devastating, because it breaks my heart to think that people are in that situation so often, that they're looking to perform and get that positive feedback, and you're not going to feel better about yourself on the shoulders of others. You have to do that from the inside out for that to be a lasting and genuine experience. But I also think just, real basic things like doing that deep breathing not only helps your singing, but helps your time feel, where you have the deep breaths in for 6 and the out breaths for 9, having that kind of dynamic where you take time to be in your body, because as a musician, whatever instrument you're playing, your body is your instrument. And you are physically doing a thing. It never feels like when I'm doing a show, my Fitbit will go off and be like, you've reached 10,000 steps. And I'm like, I did not realize I was jumping around, but I'm having a great time.
But you probably in there jamming. You probably jamming to the guitar. You probably get to it.
Time. Yes. And I think when you are genuinely able to have a good time, it's infectious. And that's a beautiful thing. I always recommend to people to practice in a mirror or with a video on yourself, to look back and see your face, because I, at the beginning, had murder face, where
don't just stare at it. Don't just.
People are like, why are you so like if you have murder face then or depressed face, you're not going to be like providing a positive experience.
Yeah, you gotta smile and have your face. Yeah, everything is on display. You know what I'm saying?
Or at least neutral. And that's something going back to psychology school, when we do practice therapy, when we're learning how to be a therapist, you videotape yourself and you have to look back and critique your face so that you learn to do this. When really you're thinking like this, like,
did you just tell me that? Right. And honestly, you know what's funny?
Did you say that?
You know what's funny? I need to work for the FBI or something, because my poker face, my wife be like, my poker face is stone cold. Like, she tell me all the time, my poker face is crazy. You know, so I definitely
absolutely
agree.
Failed that in school, so I'm glad that but I think that music as an opportunity to be a therapist, like, you're just not, you just don't have to have liability insurance. And
I would never be a therapist. Really? I would never. And it's funny, you know, my mom actually passed 4 years ago yesterday, and it's funny because she always like, you should be a teacher. I'm like, Mom, I don't have the patience to be a teacher. Like, that's why I do music, because I'll be throwing a chair at somebody. I'll be like, nah, I do music. Even though this is probably even worse, being a musician and a DJ. It was way worse. But, you know, I was like, nah, I don't have that in me. I leave that to the professionals, you know. So
that made me think of the time a guy threw a chair at me in the prison. That was great. That was really great.
Sorry about that. That was my bad. My bad.
No. I'm sorry for the passing of your mother, and I hope that her memory is clearly living on.
Yeah, she's you know, she created DJ Chase, and my father likes to take the credit for it, but she actually created DJ Chase. So.
She did the marinating. That's
yes, she did. Yes, she did. And I want to say this too, Miss Sarah, as well too. I want to get into Gunpowder right quick. It's a very, very funky tune. It's a very, very jamming tune. I love it. It's very like it's like fast to mid tempo, but it's definitely jamming. What is now? You know what I gotta ask is, how did that song title come about? That's what I want to ask.
Okay, so my first EP and my first album were very self-serving, that I spoke about like, my heartbreak, the things that have happened to me, like sad white girl songs about love and loss and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And, you know, growing and having my own therapy for decades now and blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm like, you know, maybe I can be a little more realistic and a little more compassionate to people and their experiences in relationship to me. And that song is about being a toxic bitch. So
Got it.
And so that sometimes, like, when everything's like going off the rails anyway, you're like, well, if everything's going off the rails, like light this match and like let the whole thing blow up. Like, you just have no more patience to be nice or to be appropriate or to have good coping skills. You just throw all the coping skills away and you just let it flow. And that was the feeling I was going for in the song, of being like, we have this relationship and it's gone to pieces. And you know what? While we're at it, let's just light the whole thing on fire.
Yeah. Love it, because that's what I was gonna ask. Because I'm like, I'm listening to the song. Because when I first got it in my email, I'm like, why is she? Where's this Gunpowder like coming from? I'm like, okay, that's different. Yeah. So I'm just deep diving into it. I'm like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? So she's so nice, and I'm like, I'm on her website. I'm like, she's so nice. Why is she talking about Gunpowder? Nah, I love it though. But it's definitely a great record. And I do want to ask this too. Yeah, and I do want to ask this too, Miss Sarah. Before we get out of here, I know we're a little pressed for time, but like I said, we're gonna do this once a month. I want to say this. What is one piece of advice, and I ask this to everybody, what is one piece of advice that you would give anyone trying to aspire to be in the music business today?
Learn to take feedback non-defensively. Like, you are going to hear things you don't want to hear. Like, you need to work on your pitch. You need to work on your time feel. You need to work on this. And you need to say, thank you. Because you know what? Like, what feels bad as feedback, it doesn't feel good to be told you're not doing something right, but like, you know what, like, that's an opportunity to become even better. Like, people wouldn't bother to tell you what you need to work on if they didn't think you were worth it. And I think that's a really cool perspective, to be like, take a voice lesson, take a guitar lesson, take a lesson on how to do Ableton or how to do Logic. Because when people tell you, like, invest in yourself, it's because they think you're worth investing in. And so to have that perspective of, when you get feedback of where you have your growth opportunities, to use that to make yourself even better.
Love it. Once again, Miss Sarah Dunn, thank you so much for coming on the platform. Do I say doctor, or what would I say?
You just don't call me late for dinner. I am technically a doctor.
Listen,
so it's fancy.
I see. Listen. So I wanted to ask you this too before we get out. You got a ginger cat? Is the cat a ginger?
Oh my gosh, that cat is the bane of my existence. Like, that cat, he is such a jerk. He's this big, fat, orange cat. He owns the house. He acted all cute at the shelter, like, oh, I'm so grateful you're taking me home. He's such a jerk. His name's Apollo, and he is the biggest jerk, and I love him so much.
Love it. Mr. Apollo, have a good day. But with that being said, Miss Sarah Dunn, where can they find you, Dr. Sarah Dunn? Where can they get in contact with you and bother you?
You can find me at SarahDunnMusic.com as my website. I have Sarah Dunn Music on Instagram, where I'm always posting pictures of my chickens and my cats and things that I'm doing. And I'm also doing the Facebook Reels on my Facebook Sarah Dunn Music page. So yeah, you can't not find me.
Once again, man, Miss Sarah Dunn, Dr. Sarah Dunn, lovely music, musician, and not just artiste, a musician. So with that being said, once again, man, DJ Chase, I'm out of here. WDJC DB DJ Chase Radio. The single Gunpowder from Sarah Dunn will be streaming right here on DJ Chase Radio, Spotify Podcast, Apple Podcast, and YouTube DJ Chase TV. And we out of here. Yeah.